This week we're doing something a little different down at the camper for work, and brought along my Nitrous Express kit. I got a little fogger kit for it, and then I got my carburetor down here as well. I'm going to rebuild that in another video. This video is just showing the basic parts of Nitrous Express's kit. Comes with fuel solenoid, nitrous solenoid, bottle pressure gauge, and then I also purchased the Nitrous Express purge solenoid, and it's actually pretty nice. It's got a little ferrule on it that whenever you put it together and you tighten it down, it will actually crimp a piece of tubing I didn't do it all the way, but once you get this really tight, it will not let that little piece of tubing come out of there, and you can mount it, put this out the hood, out the wheel well, whatever you really want to do. I've seen a lot of guys do different things with these, but it's actually pretty cool. I got my nitrous jets in here. There's a lot of different mixtures with the jets that you can play around with for how much of a shot you really want to do. But the biggest importance, then the nicest thing, is that they actually label which side's nitrous, which side's your fuel. And your fuel solenoid is always to the front of the engine. At least that's how I've always done it. But you pretty much put your jet in, come over here, don't cross thread like I'm about to do. And I'm not going to put a jet on the nitrous side. There's really no point, because it's not on the engine yet. But this is going on the GTO. Putting this and my big 750 carb on it, which that's kind of the bread and butter. I'll show a little bit in this video of that. But pretty much this is how it's going to look sitting underneath the carburetor. Obviously, like I said, fuel comes in, and then nitrous comes in from this way, but your fuel is always from the front of the engine. That's the easiest way to put it. It did come with these nice instructions, and it's actually pretty easy. It has a little bit of chart in the back that teaches you the basics. Yeah, like a little basic for jetting, and I'll show you that. That's pretty simple. And then it also, nice thing about this one is it shows you how to wire it up, whether you're doing for a button just to get a little shot of nitrous whenever you really want it, or if you're using a throttle position switch. And that's honestly what I'm gonna put on the car. I only want nitrous to come on when I'm full of throttle. I don't want it to come on whenever I'm quarter throttle, half throttle, not I'm spinning or something. I don't want nitrous being coming on, which same as a button, but you're more likely to hold on to the button when you're getting loose, because you're gripping onto the wheel. You're like, oh crap, I'm about to crash, and you end up holding on to the nitrous. But it's pretty simple. A lot of these has your ground, obviously your positive going here to the button, going to the fuel, and going to the nitrous, and going to ground through the two solenoids. Or over here it comes down into the throttle position switch to a relay, and then it goes to the battery to ground, and then it goes out to your fuel pressure safety switch to ground, and it comes over here to each of your solenoids. It's honestly really simple how to do this. Pretty much anybody can, but the engine is okay with being set up for nitrous because it already is a nitrous engine. Rings are gapped on it. That's not really hard to do at all if you're building the engine. Now, if you already have an engine and you throw nitrous to it, that can be a pain, because rip the whole bottom end of the engine just to gap the rings exact how you want them. But luckily my 383 is gapped correctly, so I'll be able to just pretty much put this on, hook the bottle up, and I can pretty much spray what I want to spray. But I'm not gonna spray too much on that car. Max I'll ever probably spray is a 200 shot, and I know it's pretty big for some people, but that's really small in drag racing. I know guys who have multiple 600 shots on them, and that's just a lot to me. But the later video that I'm gonna be doing is on my Proform carburetor. It's a 750. It's the one for the racers, and I'll be digging into this, showing all the internal parts with the check valves and all the diaphragms, needles, like everything inside this. And that'll be a later video that I'll probably post next week on Monday or Tuesday, just to kind of even out some videos. But I'm really sucking at this. Fuck. But this nitrous system for a carburetor requires 10 psi of the fuel enrichment circuit, and it normally requires a pretty good fuel pump, and I have a pretty decent fuel pump in the car, so it'll handle this completely fine, no issue. But there's really not too much to this kit. I like braided lines and other stuff like that sitting in the box, but really no point in showing that, as well as the buttons. But this one's already been modified to fit my bracket. I've already cut it and messed with it a little bit, and it fits mine perfectly. So it'll pretty much be pull the old carburetor off that engine and mount this setup on it. It won't take too long, but I don't have the car in my position right now. It's at my parents' place, and working so much, I don't have the ability to go work on that car since it's not at my house. But I have a lot of ability to work on the truck, and there's going to be a bunch of videos coming out on it. It's going to be going underneath a lot of changes. I got all the bars for the roll cage. I'm going to be finishing up taking out the dash, taking out the wiring, pulling out all the interior of the truck. I'm gonna build a funny car cage for it, back half the truck, put my rear end and big tires underneath it. Just slowly but surely take away from that truck and make it into a pretty fast street truck that I can go out to Cash Days or any other street and just, it will get down, because it's big, it's heavy, but I need it to be fast, and more bars I put in it, faster I can probably go in the truck. So there's gonna be a lot coming with that, and I'll talk about certification of the chassis as I get to that point. I'm not the most knowledgeable about everything. I'm still learning every day on drag racing. There's nothing that I know like every single thing about, but I'm kind of doing these videos as a vlog, not really a vlog, but I'm doing these videos because I'm able to go back, watch, and I can see what I've learned, see what I can do differently over time, and it's just kind of like a little teaching platform for myself that shows what I need to do next and stuff I need to learn and get better at. But that's pretty much all with this nitrous system right here. I don't have the bottle with me or nothing like that, but I have my carb that I'm gonna tear apart here later, and I'll post a video on taking it apart. That's something I have a lot more knowledge about than these nitrous systems. I'm still pretty new to them, but I thought I got the kit and I thought it was pretty cool, so I thought I'd show off how well Nitrous Express actually is, and I'm very impressed with their stuff. But that's pretty much it for this video.